Dr. Beer is the professor of government at Harvard and also the first Thomas P. O'Neill Professor of American Politics at Boston College. Welcome, Dr. Beer. First of all, if you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about that prescient advice that you gave to a young John F. Kennedy considering his first run for Congress in '46.
Well, this was actually when he thought he was going to run for the Senate.
Oh, for the Senate, yeah.
That's right, he ran in '52, you know,
right.
And he'd been a congressman after the war, and I'd known him in Democratic politics, and also because of the Harvard connection.
Mm-hmm.
He was on our visiting committee, and I was chairman of the department much of the time. So after one of the dinners, he called me over and he said, "Now, Sam, I'm thinking of running for the Senate." That was against Henry Cabot Lodge, the war hero, you know, the Yankee, par excellence. And he said, "What do you think of that?" And I said, "Well, you know, all the wise people around here think it's hopeless. Johnny Powers, Paul Dever. What do you think?" I said, "Jack, stay in the House and become a great man." I think his comment on that was, "Oh, no, Sam, I can't do that. I couldn't stand another term being bored to death by so-and-so."
Did he ever throw that back at you, by the way?
No, because that was the advice he got from everyone.
Yeah.
It shows what he was, his own man, you know. He was a curious combination of caution and courage. You know, he prepared his way very carefully. He loved power, he sought power, he won power, and he enjoyed power. There was a Churchillian strain in him that people forget, you know, talking about. He was not a regular guy. He didn't have a sentimental bone in his body. He accepted the New Deal. He accepted, after all, his father had been identified in many ways. But he had no sense of mission, particularly. What he wanted above all, I think, was to get his hands on the country and get it moving again. This was the kind of man he loved: movement, progress. He was a sort of Renaissance prince who came in and had his excellence, his brains, his courage, and he wanted to use this. He identified with the country very profoundly. He wasn't a liberal, he was a great nation builder.
Was there really growth in that 1,000 days, or just perception?
Yes, of course, but it's if I may say so, it's the wrong word. It's a kind of vegetable metaphor, isn't it? You know, it's like something that just happens. It didn't happen with him. He made it happen. And this was very much one of his, the essence of his leadership. Namely, he was a self-made man. Now, any guy that rich, you don't think of that word, but he made himself. People try to explain him as being a Catholic, a Democrat, you know, and all that. Harvard. You could not add up all those things and make him. He was making himself.
Professor?
And he had this wonderful, this excitement, this autonomy, and I think this is what got across to people.